Hello everyone, welcome to Lesson 9, the case study of Hyundai. Until now, our lessons have focused on giving you the domestic and international perspectives on Korean economic development and chaebols. In the next 2 weeks, we look at the specific case studies of two Korean chaebols, Hyundai and Samsung. Hyundai is best known in the West, especially in the US, Canada, and Europe, especially for its automobile. I'm sure many of you living in the US might already be consumers of Hyundai cars. In Korea, the company is known for its dynamic founder and former chairperson Chung Ji-young. Chung Ji-young, the founder of Hyundai, was born in a very poor and rural family and is an example of how a businessman striving to succeed after much hard work. In this lesson, we cover 4 main topics. The first topic we cover is the history and operation of the Hyundai Group. The second topic we cover is a case study of Hyundai Motor, including its background, structure, and strategies. The third topic we cover is the motivation and management styles of Chung Ji-young, who's the founder of Hyundai. The fourth topic that we cover is the current problems and challenges faced by Hyundai Group. The first topic we cover is the history and operation of the Hyundai Group. The founder of the Hyundai Group, Chung Ji-young, as I said earlier, was born in a very poor family. He began his entrepreneur career owning a small auto repair shop. And over the years, he expanded his business to include transportation, construction, and eventually automobile. When going through the materials, pay close attention to how Chung Ji-young broadened his business through the tumultuous period of the Korean War. The second topic that we cover is the case study of Hyundai Motors. We will examine the background and the structure and some of the strategies implemented by Hyundai Motors. Chung Ji-young's entry into the automobile industry came in response to the government's 5-year plan in 1967 by President Park Chung-hee. The plan gave incentives for plant construction and car assembly, removed tariffs on imported automobiles components, and increased tariffs on imported assembled automobiles. Demonstrating his business acumen, Chung Ji-young was able to form a partnership with many different foreign automobile companies to gain technology. Today, Hyundai Motor in America is competing in the US market by targeting the subcompact market, and they've been very successful. Many of you living in the US are most likely familiar with Hyundai cars. Hyundai cars are becoming an increasingly familiar sight in the US. This lesson will give you a chance to understand how Hyundai Motors were able to expand globally. The third topic that we cover is the motivation and management style of the founder, Chung Ji-young. When you first take a look at Hyundai's diversified business operations, you'll notice that many of these companies are headed by Chung Ji-young's children. Chung Ji-young had 9 children, and after his death, the Hyundai Group was dissolved into smaller groups, many of them under the ownership of each of his children. This section provides a fairly detailed description of the various Hyundai companies and owners, and you'll be able to trace back the owners to Chung Ji-young's lineage. You'll get a good sense of how family ownership and management looks like in the Hyundai Group. And finally, we end the lesson with a discussion on current problems and challenges faced by the Hyundai Group. Along with other chaebols, Hyundai suffered during the Asian financial crisis of the late 1990s, and they've been facing increasing demands for chaebol restructurement. When going through this week's materials, use the following keywords as a guideline: Chung Ji-young and Hyundai Motor. You should have a fairly good idea of how Chung Ji-young expanded and diversified his business starting from the late 1930s up to the present, and also have a fairly good grasp of his management style, where he passed on a lot of his business operations to his children. And then you should have a fairly good idea of the operation of Hyundai Motors, their strategies in expanding globally, especially in the US market. Also, please keep in mind the essential role Hyundai Group played in the Korean economic development in the past and even in present. Next week, we'll look at the case study of Samsung. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson on the Hyundai Group. Thank you.